How's it going, Cares? All right. Oops, we don't want to run it. Jacob, how's it going? How you doing? All I want to do now is play Mario Kart, but we got a game to make. I figure if I separate so vastly in time when I'm programming and when I'm playing games, if I do build an audience doing that, it's on a separate like time schedule. I only went shopping and cooked since Mario Kart. What are you doing? We got to Mario Kart 64. Tom Millman, I haven't seen you in so long. Tom Millman is alive, confirmed. Pulse. Okay, so what we're working on is the algorithm for our highlighting. What does our highlighting look like? Let me show you. I've been watching you almost every day from the shadows. I'm coming for you. I'm Tom Man. Well, I had to get a walk in for Calvin. I would have started earlier, but we went for a walk around the neighborhood. Sorrow, how's it going? I've been trying to get him out more, walking around. Worried about his socialization. Problem is our neighborhood is full of loose dogs. Every dog rushes the fence. Every loose dog is aggressive. So I can't socialize him properly in this neighborhood. So I just worry about taking him around the neighborhood. He's just going to get the wrong idea of what he's supposed to be doing. Doing good, fixing edge cases with new UI stuff and doing some performance passes. Learned because I composited my UI with pre-purchased UI images so heavily it's half my draw calls. Oh no! So you have a whole system that you purchased, not just the actual elements? Moleskio, how's it going? Alright, so here's the deal. We're going to have an algorithm. The algorithm for checking for the highlight area is thus. On each hexagon, we look for a corresponding neighbor. If no neighbor is found, then we know that's an area where we can draw. We can draw. Okay? Now, technically, we've done this already in our matching algorithm. We've had to have. So let's look at the I don't think anybody's seen the actual solving algorithm. So we have get matches. Oh my god. Find matches. So we get our ring around a hexel. It's the elements, but I have tons of images stacked. It calls a draw for each of the damn things. Yeah, dude. Dude, these engines don't... They just... You have to know so much about them to get it to not... To get it to batch, you know? I have tons of images stacked. It calls a draw call for each damn thing. But yeah, once I commission or draw my own UI, I'll use the less images. I see. I think I know what you're talking about. Because I was gonna suggest, like, hey, if it's like a Photoshop filed equivalent of layers, can't you just smash them into one? It's like a puzzle piece currently. Yeah, it's like web UI in the old days. Oh, we need rounded edges. What's the best way to do that? Back in the day, it was we'll have an image for the corner pieces, an image for the top strip, an image for the left and the right sides, and an image for the bottom left and right corners, and then an image for the, like, it was like, but that was like the best way to do it back in the day. Back when using tables were more consistent than divs. My last game had this issue, and I did that also. Every time a UI is on, but why is it so heavy in the first place? Like, what I don't understand is, even if it did that, why is that so impactful? Like, what is going wrong there? You know what I mean? Like, I feel that way with Godot and the 3D drawing. I've got a potato computer, and it shouldn't matter. I've only got like what is it, like 51 elements or something on the screen, and it matters so much to batch it. I don't know. Sometimes I just scratch my head about some of it. Bringing them up into multiple is a good idea. But see, you can do immediate mode GUI. Immediate mode GUI is super fast, and you're literally every single loop you're redrawing everything. So I guess this is my, like, maybe I'm just an idiot, but with engines it's like, what are you doing? Like, why can I use something that just does it literally every single time there's a draw and we're fine? I don't know. It's weird. It weirds me out. Okay. Christ, guys. I don't even touch my matching algorithm. I know I could probably improve it. I think I'm just going to do this from scratch again and see how I come up with it and see if it's anything close to this. The main thing I'm watching now, is how it has to reassign the texture, and so it can't batch very well because the UI pack wasn't a sprite sheet; it was individual elements. Oh, so you could make an atlas and solve some of this problem. How hard would it be to do atlas texture for it, and just assign the coordinate for each of the little segments? Determined to keep it non-playable. That's why I'm not touching it. That's why I'm not touching it. So this is the only thing we're going to start with in our code. So I guess what we'll do is, I'm not sure with the UI side, Unity does have sprite atlases. Although, hang on, let's think about this. If we're building out the matches, while we're building out the matches, could we build out the neighbors or the theoretical light outline area? I guess it would just be. So sorry guys, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. Here's the other thing we have to do, which is, so let's say we have a hexagon. When we're doing the outline, we need to start from here, and from the same, what's the term? Is it radius? Or is it circumference? straight line from the center. Yeah. So the radius. So when we're actually determining, oh, there's nobody here, then we know we need to draw a line starting from radius here to radius here. Then we determine there's nothing here. We know we need to draw a line from radius here to radius here, and so on. So we just need a good way of measuring the size of the hexagon. I think we're going to be okay. We just risk... not sure what the UI side. So it has its own sort of UI system, kind of like Godot. Every UI system is shit. If you get a taste of immediate mode, it's really hard to, like, it's okay once you know about it to just crap on everything else. You're allowed to. Now, here's another way. I'm trying to think of a smart way to do this, guys. That's all I'm trying to do. So theoretically, if we know every place where the hexagon, where all the matches are, we still have to check neighbors. I know the sprite renderers can properly use the atlases, but I'm not sure the image UI component knows how to use it. Making coffee, watching cricket, that's what I do. I didn't catch you last night, Els. We played, we rolled credits on Super Mario Kart, and now we are going into Mario Kart 64, a game which I've only previously played like 2 hours of, and so we're diving into that. Getting through 50cc, almost got gold on all of them except for the special cup. So we're gonna move on to 100. I'm hearing there's mirrored courses. I'm hearing there's 200cc. So it's exciting to go through the original series like this. So after Mario Kart 64, it is then we're going chronologically. So I think the order is. It's okay, Cal. His poor ear. Oh. Super Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Advanced. It might be Super Mario Kart Advanced, but I think it's just Mario Kart Advanced. Then it's Double Dash, Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii. I don't know if it's Wii or DS or Wii, but I know it's one of the other. And then we go. Is it really all the way to 8? Let's see. Super Mario Kart 64, Advanced. Double Dash, Wii, DS. I'm missing one. What am I missing, guys? 64 adds the balloons, right? For the battle mode, yes. And actually, so that's the other thing is we're going to try to do, if you have NSO, I'll put a call out on the Discord right now. If you have NSO, I do want to try and play some multiplayer, OG Super Mario Kart Battle Mode, and OG or Mario 64 stuff as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun. No idea what the net code is like with that stuff. You're missing Mario Kart with a C on that 3DO. What are the Mario Kart releases? Sorry, we're gonna get distracted here really quick, and then we're gonna work in the code. I'm missing one. Mario Kart Series Wiki. Super Mario Wiki. Here we go. Super Mario Kart 64, Super Circuit. That was the DS one. Double Dash, or the advanced one. DS, Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart 7. What the hell is Mario Kart 7? Mario Kart 7. Is this a mobile game? Oh, the 3DS one. I totally forgot about it. Uh-oh. We have a problem with this one. How the hell am I going to play this on the stream? Isn't there an arcade one also? Is there an arcade Mario Kart? Yeah, you guys are effing around with me. Do we count the mobile game, guys? Mario Kart Tour? Am I going to play mobile game on the stream? How are we going to play a 3DS game on the stream? There is an arcade one. Was super difficult. Don't tell me this. Mario Kart Arcade. GP. Oh, dang. Oh, is this around? This has got to be based around Double Dash, right? What? What? It looks amazing. (2007). Oh my god, I would have shit my pants if I saw this in 2007. Look at that. Look at the... There's depth of field and everything. Dave and Buster's field trip stream, right? Wow. Oh, we would have infinite quarters. But this one should be... We should be able to do this one. 3DS emulator. I'm just going to look it up just out of curiosity. I'm not breaking the law. Written in C++. I do have a copy of the game. I just completely forgot about it. Alright. Well, it might work. We might be able to make it happen. I remember being a fan of the Super Circuit. I liked because it was like a spiritual successor to Super Mario Kart. And then Mario Kart DS, I loved the battle mode in it. I remember just having so much fun. The mechanic to blow the balloons up in DS is with your literal microphone blowing into the microphone was some of the most ridiculous. Oh man. All right. I'm a sucker for weird inputs. I think I played 7 more than any of them, maybe. Oh, really? Okay. I do recall playing it. The DS games, I always just turned off the 3DS games, I always just turned off the 3D. On some games, it would literally make the performance better. It came with the 2DS, and the whole neighborhood got a 2DS one summer. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the DS, for the Wii release... So I think it had to be that because I swear I remember playing Mario Kart DS while waiting to purchase the Wii on launch day, November 12th or something. There was 44 tickets at the Target. I was number like 12. My friend promised he'd stick with me through the whole night and get one too, and he ditched me within an hour. Son of a bitch. We got water ballooned, and somebody tried to paintball us while we were waiting. That was my D-Day. And then I got it, and my future wife, I came home, I just fell asleep. And then I wake up and she's playing Rabbids without me. And I was crushed. I think I'd done that. I think I'd purchased Rabbids and Excite Truck. Which I personally think Excite Truck was a legit great game. Fight me. But no, the Excite Truck was great. And you could put your MP3s on an SD card and play them on Excite Truck. That was cool. That stuff was neat. Did it have deforming? I feel like it had deforming. Anyways, let's get to work. I think Excite Truck had deforming, like land deformation. I think you could like raise and lower it or something. But the Wii was the last console I did that for. Okay, so we're gonna look over at our All right, Els. See ya. So we're gonna go over to our visualizer here. This is this should be the code where we do any visual stuff, and this is where we do our matches, and we have an array of matches here. So all we need to do is iterate on this array. So we're gonna do the outline. We do the algorithm as we have it written here. Let me do a shout out to Els. Els now up in the air whenever Els is going to stream for the summer. But definitely check out his streams. He does video game development, NES, classic NES game with a friend, and a tabletop RPG. Calvin's trying to kill himself with some plastic that he shouldn't be chewing. So we're already iterating on pieces to clear. So we could technically do this as part of our as part of the check. So for each piece to clear, we'll build a hex cell around it. We'll get the neighbors. See, this is too much. We don't need to do all this. Pieces to clear, so it's a vec3, it's a QRS. So we don't need to use the hexel code. We have everything we need. We have to think about this is happening in mass, right? So we did the math already for this, right? We did it right here. So this is how we check our neighbors. We could just do a has on an array. Sure. We're going to trust that C++ is going to do this faster for us. And our array here, QRS. So here's what we do. We take I'm going to build this out. Var look around. Boom, 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 boom. Enums can only be, so these need to be consts. So how many degrees are we looking at? So one, so it's a hexagon, right? So we have 6. So 360. Not a calendar. Fucking Windows. $60, every 60 degrees. 0, 60, 120, so on. Six, 60, 100. Can I say 0? No. All right. Okay. Is the title correct on my stream? This isn't Mario Kart. Yeah, I didn't update it proper. Okay. Why is it doing it so flat? So we don't need this. So many things we're not doing that then just by not doing that. So if we take our current position and we add Is it cheaper to... This is the kind of thing you would need to do, like you would need to run a test on. Is it cheaper to build a copy of an array or just new an array with the exact thing? One does not know. I do not know. I do not know. Cheaper to make a new one. And what if it's not empty? What if it's predefined, like already populated with something? I guess I'd have to really just write some code to find out. But if we're just looping, then we loop on look around. We don't even need the array. Okay, so we're getting there. So for position in look around, we take our QRS plus that plus position. And this is what we're going to check for a neighbor. So then we say pieces to clear has this. If the answer to this question is yes, then we're not going to do anything. So if not has, this is what we care about. So if it does not have that position, oh shit, this is why, oh shit, guys. It's worse than we thought. It's worse than we thought. So if it does has, we have to do something. If it doesn't has, we have to do something. Because if it do have that position, and we start to build out an array of, here's where we're going to draw our line around everything, right? If we start to do that, it's possible that as we're figuring out for our array of matches, oh, actually, where we thought, or is it? Because we already have the array. I think that the answer is never mind. I think we're cool. I think we're cool because we're checking the same array. So position, look around. If not. So then we're just, here's what we're doing is we're building out. Do we even need to build out? I don't even think we need to build it out. What we need to keep track of is if we've already drawn a line for that area. Or do we even need to do that? Hang on a second, guys. Do you use ChatGPT for code? No, Mags Music. No. I personally feel like, I mean, it's a great tool for, I don't know, guys. I'm kind of all, look, the only way, I learned by doing. I learned by doing, so I don't usually go to it. I'll go to it for like, hey, I just need some suggestions on some pieces. I'm making a matching game with 5 different types of potential types to match. What kind of themes could I go for? I use ChatGPT for docs when I start a new engine. For math, it's useful. Yeah, I think for the whole explain it to me kind of thing, but I do think for applied, like, I think for learning, you kind of have to do. So like at a certain point, you can ask it. It's a bit like a calculator, where it's like you can get really rusty with your basic math operations, right? Addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. You can get real shitty with that. You can still do math good, right? You know what you should do, but then if you tried to do it in your head, you'd be really crappy at it because you're sort of using the calculator to do it for you, kind of thing. As I used the calculator earlier to do some simple math. For code generation, I do agree that I find that it cannot maintain, like, it's my understanding that it cannot maintain situational awareness very well. It's good at compartmentalized problems, but it cannot manage something large. But I mean, no, I'm not going to judge either way, but I feel like I learn better by doing. And I feel like I would rather make the neurological connections in my brain than have a AI do it for me. And then I don't get to have the benefit of having made those connections. And I feel like when you get with learning, you can't go to school and be told the answer to everything and be able to retain that information later in life. That doesn't work. You have to seek out the answer and learn it that way. So I don't know. I feel like there's a desire to learn. Some people are good at memorizing, and so they have a perception that that's all learning is, and I'll just memorize and you'll be fine, kind of thing. But for other people, I find for myself it's in the doing. The people who use AI to do stuff for them as opposed to learning a tool are going to hit a low ceiling. Right. It's like having access to, Einstein. That doesn't make you a physicist, right? You can ask him a bunch of questions and he can answer them for you. But then if you're, okay, now go do physics. It's like you can't. So that's where I guess the question with ChatGPT and in life is, what skills do you want to have for when the nukes drop and there's no computers anymore? What's important? But I mean, seriously, we can have a solar flare. I swear. That's World War III. Is whatever hemisphere is lucky enough not to have gotten hit by a solar flare, I suspect will instantly seek domination. I swear that's what's going to happen. So whatever side, not hemisphere, but whatever the side of the Earth is not on the blast side of a solar flare, that's the side that takes the board. Cockroach skin would be... Yeah. But I've always theorized that. I'm always like, man, if we're the ones that get hit, like if it's just right where it's the US and Europe, man, China's going to sweep the world. We're screwed. To drone the crap out of us. How long would that take? Let's see. How long would that take? You got to get across the Pacific. So in a couple of days, I think it would be game over. Like probably 2 weeks. I guess it really, the question depends on how many nukes does every other country have in another country's territory. I don't know. I'm not that pessimistic. Kaiju's become a common occurrence. Yeah, I do feel like Pacific Rim was getting closest to what it would be like if there were kaijus. It would absolutely be like wrestling or something. Bottom line for me is that learning makes it easier to understand the world in general as you experience it. Right. You're not a sucker. I feel like the danger with something that can give you the sensation of having access to all this knowledge and being able to parse it and everything is the danger is that you think that you're that smart. And the moment-to-moment ability to become a sucker increases, I feel like. I think probably the most important thing is to just teach, like this, logic, how to reason, and how to question things, and to become very suspicious of people that tell you shouldn't question something. It's funny because I think I've talked about the ID stuff, right? The police videos that I'm always ranting about and how they're so obsessed with ID and how it's something that people should stand up to. And then now we're seeing like, oh, don't worry about it. Just listen to them. They're not going to, just give it to them, blah, 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 blah. But now, depending on what side of the table you're on, you're seeing this abuse for your side, quote unquote. And it's like, oh, that's why that's important. Oh, you've got an accent? Show me your ID. You're a U.S. citizen? Show me your ID. 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 It's like, I don't have to. I didn't commit a crime. Well, you have an accent. Show me your ID. Show me your ID. Show me your ID. Is having an accent enough to become reasonable suspicion for a crime? Because that's a little slippery slope there, I feel like. As someone who has programmed professionally for the last 15 years, that's pretty depressing. That'd be pretty depressing. I'm slowly converting my entire family to Linux. Since Windows 11 is getting harder to get into older stuff. Yeah, all my Macs are on Linux now. It's the end of the world scenario. Oh. It's a little wild. So many people are okay with throwing away due process out the window. It's scary how much of your life you have to give up to stand up for that right now, though. Specifically to not be ID'd when you've not committed a crime. You're almost guaranteed, if a cop has that itch, you are guaranteed an arrest. Because what they'll try to charge you with is obstruction. Even though the fact of your name and your address has nothing to do with determining whether or not you've committed a crime or not. But they insist that having that information somehow helps in their investigation to determine whether or not you are committing a crime. What they really want is they're fishing for warrants. They want to get you on something. Basically, they determine they want to fuck you. And so they want that ID because they want to check for warrants. And then they also, the danger in giving an ID, and you haven't done anything. Oh, I haven't done anything. I'll give them my ID is, well, they're asking because someone's been breaking around in the cars in the neighborhood. So now they have you at a place and your name, who you are, and well, we think you're doing it. And it's like, you just don't, like, it sucks that you have to basically risk your freedom to protect that right. It's not, is it a right anymore? Are these things rights anymore if it means you go into jail? I don't know. I don't know. For position and look around, if there's no pieces to clear, if it's not in the pieces to clear array, then we know that it's a point at which we can draw. I think we're okay. I think we can just start drawing. Oh my God, this is actually really easy. Wow. Okay. So from this point, essentially what we've determined is wherever it is that this is clear to draw a line or this is clear to draw a line. So now all we have to do is determine where the radiuses, the angles that the radiuses are going out at. And so we have the position that we're going to be looking around at. And so all we can match the position up to a const. Now, do we do it in one big ass if statement? how do we determine if we did it with an enumerator and then we use that as an index lookup, then we can use the enumerator again. So if we made it the look around an enumeration, let's try that. So enum look around directions, and then we do these. Is it gonna be mad because we already used these words? Look around directions. Is that how we do enums? I don't even know the conventions for. I don't know what the typical GDScript. We're doing enums. Yeah, we're doing camel case. So for the visualizer, so we do look around directions in camel case. Blah 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 blah. We have our look around directions. Now. If we do an array of the enumeration and we iterate on that, so this is just an array of look around directions. And actually, we don't even need to build the array because we can get the array from this, from the enumerator. Okay. Yeah, it is scary. What's scary to me about policing right now is this in the States is and we're really lucky in some ways, but in other ways not so much when it comes to policing. But the rapidity of escalation is extremely disturbing in a lot of areas. I feel like there's zero tolerance or patience for people trying to exercise their rights. It immediately goes to retaliation. And the process is the punishment. That's the term, right? The process is the punishment. They can be wrong. Nothing will happen to them. They got you arrested. Now you're seeing a judge. Congratulations. The process is the punishment, and they're wrong, and it doesn't fucking matter. And so that's really terrifying. And of course, the like prison complex. I mean, that's just a profitable business. Well, you want my really cynical take? Drop it! So why are we not complaining right now about types in position? Well, that's the beauty of fines, right? The quote in Final Fantasy Tactics: if the penalty for a crime is a fine, then it only exists for the poor. It's I mean, you can have like scaling fines, I suppose, but then that can be done to penalize the poor even more. Yeah, sucks. So we're going to go through the look around directions keys, and now this is going to be looking for. Okay, so now we're going through each look around direction. Now we use these keys to look up an index of an array. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So we're still thinking fastly. We're going to keep so we're going to use this array. And we're going to make these all look around directions. Look around you. I don't feel like it's a conspiracy so much as how it's playing out, you know, as far as that is concerned. And I don't think that that's how it works out either. Because you can have an extremely wealthy person have his teeth knocked out by a cop who doesn't know they're wealthy. It happens. Of course, the consequences will be heavier, right? But I think that the heavy policing that we have, the more that it does touch the people that have money, the more they might actually be concerned with how bad it would get. Not what I really believe. Yeah. No, I'm with you though. I think ultimately it's the lower class that suffers the most under the growing the heavy militarization of the police, you know, just all around the growing, I hate to use the term police state, but the growing state of policing. It's definitely the low income people that suffer under it. And the here, let me help you cops don't exist anymore, right? Those aren't a thing. And it only takes one time to get screwed by them to just suddenly become the guy who flips them off. And you watch these videos and you're like, man, that guy's an idiot. Why is he doing all that? And then you find out, oh, he's already been screwed by them. And so he's just done. He's already in the system. He's already getting screwed by it. But the worst videos, the ones that I watch, the worst videos are the good guys that think that all they have to do is say yes to everything the cops are asking them, like answer everything, be as open as possible or whatever, and all they're doing is just like, no, I didn't, and they're just like fitting the noose on themselves when they kick the stool out from under them. And it's like, oh shit, you just hung yourself. You thought you're doing everything right. Okay, so look around. So we have our thing. Pieces to clear has QRS, and it's not position. So we're going to say direction. Direction. So this is look around direction. So we're using that as an index into look around array. And so we're saying it's look around directions. A plus operator. We need to get back. If we do it in the order, so all we have to do is put these in the right order. So we don't need look around directions. So this is just going to be an array of vector 3s in the elements. So we could populate this, but we're going to do it just in order. So then we're okay here. This is looking good. I mean, so far we're managing to somehow keep this. So far, it's this is surprisingly like no code. It does suck. It sucks. It sucks that it's a luck of the draw. It really does suck. My experience in California was very negative, and I realize now in hindsight I was being profiled due to the quality of the vehicle I would drive around, and that was used as a pretext for pulling me over. And I do, now that I know my rights a lot better, when I think back of the number of times I was pulled over and had committed no traffic violation, it blows my mind. They were clearly fishing. it got so bad. I mean, driving at night was the worst because I knew the minute I saw a cop car, they were pulling me over. I'd committed no violations or anything, and lights go on and they pull me over. And I give them everything they want, but I guess if they smelt the wrong thing or something, or they felt like they could get something on me, they'd bring the dogs out. They'd extend the traffic stop. They'd say they smell something. They'd want me to do a test and all that shit. I'm in Washington. Cali cops are a different beast. Yeah. In California, they're all trained in like Compton in those areas, and then they're just put into little towns. So they're all like hardened, you know, it's like putting them in NAM and then saying, okay, now police small town USA, California. And they're like, motherfuckers out to get me. They're just like, they're just super like this. Like, when you're talking to a California cop, they might as well have like the Spider-Man Spidey Sense tingly lines animating around them from the comic books. Yeah, no, some of them are straight up. That's why that's one of the big warning signs is if you see tats all over their arms, that is a huge warning sign. You have to be careful because this isn't like a. And I'm not saying that cops can't have tattoos. I kind of had this conversation with Second. But yeah, they're covered in cops that are covered in tattoos. It's like fuck. There's no decor anymore. I frankly, it's just like because each of those tattoos, if they're a cop. When they get hired, it's like, okay, as part of our background research, explain to us every tattoo on there, and we're going to use all the knowledge we have about gangs to research what the hell's on your arms to determine whether or not you can even be qualified to police. Because a lot of those tattoos, you pause these videos and you're like, what is that? And you look it up and you're like, oh shit, that's a gang tattoo. Okay. Some of these cops literally have like white supremacist fucking symbology on their arm. It's just like Jesus. History of policing in LA is fascinating, particularly Compton in the 60s. Interesting. All right, we got ads starting in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. All right, so anyways, we keep coming back here. We haven't, how much code have we written, really? 2 lines, right? But I'm happy with these 2 lines because what we're avoiding is the many lines of the code for the Hexel code of like finding in Hexel here, the many jumps and leaps and checks and arrays and blah, 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 blah. We're not doing any of that for this. So, and as a matter of fact, I think a lot of the Hexel stuff, I may completely just avoid using this. But so far we're okay with. But in the future we may rip it all up. So we look around directions. We have keys, pieces to clear. So if there is no piece for this thing that we're looking at, which is direction, which is a look around direction, we now do a match statement. Okay? So match direction. So now we're going to look at the direction. And so for each direction, so we have these look around directions here. Okay? So for each direction, this is how we're going to determine where to build out from the radius, the center point of the hexagon. We're drawing the line that is going to be our the highlight line around the hexagon. Okay? Sound good? Now, it's possible that we don't need this match statement. So as I write this out, I may go, you know what I can do is use it as a lookup for this array here, and then use that information somehow, or have something that actually just gives me a predefined data structure of where the line pieces go, which I think we can pull off. So I just have to start writing the code to find it out. So this may become 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, and then we're done. We'll see. So to do everything I described here, we may be able to do it in 3 lines and not be doing a bunch of things. But we'll see here a second. I'm going to go use the restroom. I will be right back. Ads are starting soon. All right, we're back. I didn't have any music going. Sorry about that, but that's okay. I am having a blast playing Mario Kart. I might, if I can get this algorithm going, I think I'll celebrate with a Mario Kart stream. Goodbye. Got to run for lunch. Thanks for the stream, Jacob. Thanks for hanging out, man. It's the weekend. Anybody who's here hanging out on the weekend, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's dope. Nintendo GameCube music. Let's go through this one. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to build an array of arrays. And all of this is static. It just chills out, sticks around. This array of arrays is going to be the coordinates that we need for each of the areas. So the top, whatever we want to call them, each of the 60 degrees here, we need the points here that the lines will be drawn on, right? And then we just add those, what we do is we take our position and we add those points. We take our position and add it to those points. And that's where we draw our line at. And so again, this is one of the things I'm loving about thinking about things through like a data lens, is that once, like, this is an example of it clicking for me, where it's like, I can actually completely reduce logic by not needing to quantify things in, like, if I have it in data, I don't have to have it in operations. Does that make sense? I don't know how else to describe it. So, var, I don't know what to call it. Yeah, it's neat. It's neat. Okay. What would be bonkers is if I got this going in one shot. That would be bonkers. The thing that's going to make this a little hard, though, is the mesh. Some of the work we have to do on the mesh is going to be a little weird at first. I was thinking about this another way. A brain dead simple way to do this would be to go and take your hexagon and then just build another hexagon and scale it, right? And then put it in the center and just turn that bad boy on when, like, have a cache of them and move it around and just make sure that it's behind the one. And then we can kind of get the same effect, but not quite, because I do want this like animation effect of it literally sort of being cut out. And so we wouldn't be able to get it doing something like that. But it would be possible to do that. Yeah. So it just doesn't, it's not going to do what I would want it to be able to do. Versus the programmer approach. Right. Yeah. And if I knew shaders, we might be able to somehow get there with those. But I don't think so. I think we still need to draw, like, it needs to have a timeline of, we put it here, we put it here. That's what, so we're going to be able to tween it, right? We're building it in a tween. So we're going to be able to tween this in it. So anyways, we'll get there. But yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that, where it's like, I was like, well, I could do it that way and that would get us there. But I don't know. I'm trying to go for juice for the game. And so the way that could work, the way that would work a little bit is we would actually take all of this hex cells where the match is and sort of raise them up microscopically, and then kind of underneath it slide in the match area in between the cells that we're matching and the board. So if you think of the cells, the highlight as the foreground or the middle ground, and then the cells that we're matching are the foreground, and then the board is the background in that scenario. That's how we would do it. but it's not what I'm going for as far as the look. So all right. Thing. I don't know what to call it yet. And there'll be 6 of these. But no, I'm a shit programmer. Because if you keep watching me, you're going to see me doing things and you're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Okay. Before I shut it. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's some people, some of my top subs and stuff are not, I have a silent audience for sure. I won't say who they are, but there are people supporting the stream that nobody knows. It's like the silent group of people. The quiet subs, the people who don't share subs and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, no, that's for sure. Sometimes there's a language barrier. I'm silent sub on a few channels, yeah. I mean, that's super cool. When I'm in other people's chat, I make it my goal to try to make them laugh. I do it. I don't. It's kind of a subconscious thing. What the hell's that? Moleskio, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate that. There's the coffee. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so for each direction, we can bake the math in, right? So what we need to know is, I appreciate. I'm glad I could play your game. I feel like it's really useful for people to see their game being played. And so far, the people that have shown their game have gotten it. I think the people that don't get it are the ones who explain their game way too much. Because you kind of want to just be silent and watch people struggle and stuff and see what they're experiencing. Because that's how people are going to experience your game. Right after a good playtest. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite NES game is Metroid. Yes. I remember my dad worked construction and he was a contract worker, and there was some guy's house that we were babysitting for some reason. And this guy had every NES game ever, and he had them all in the boxes still. Algo Mike, how's it going? And they had Metroid, and just on the cover alone, I was like, "Can I play this, Dad, please?" And he like took it out very carefully and everything, and I immediately got stuck. You start out, there's the elevator you go down to. On the left is the morph ball, and I got the morph ball, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I can't go through the other side. And the idea of pressing down twice, I think that's how it is on the NES as well, right? So pressing down twice to like shrink or crouch or something was so foreign to me. It never occurred to me even try that. And so I got so frustrated because I like wanted to love this game. And I would get this power up and I immediately couldn't use it. So what we need to know is the size of the hexagon. So we are translating that somehow when we place the pieces in the game. So let's see how we're doing that. So when we set up the puzzle, add piece. Here we go. So our scale is this. It's just 1. Position to point X. So we're not translating, we're not doing, it's all one to one. Okay. So then knowing that the entire size of the hexagon is 1, the number 1, and we're in the middle, does that make the radius? Because we know, if we know that, then we know that the distance between two hexagons right on top of each other is 1. So 1 to here, 1, 1. So does that literally make us half? Is it 0.5 is the radius, and we just travel around that? I don't know. Let's try that. So if that's the case, going back here, then now we have to do we need it's rotation from our point from 0, radius of 0.5, rotate around. So we need pi for something. Oh no! But this is like a triangle. This is a triangle problem, right? So do we need sine and cosine? Do we do something with that? I don't know. I mean, if we have the angle, okay, let's break this down more. So we have the point in the center of what's basically a circle, and we're gonna say that our line is here, and we're going at an angle of whatever. Okay. Then that angle, and then the distance out. How the hell do we figure this out? See, this might be, for me, this might be a chat GT-able moment. But I still think I can. Let's look it up. Ratios of sides. Hypotenuse. Adjacent is tangent. And then cosine Have you looked at the unit circle? I think it might be a really good reference here. Which, do you have a, what do you mean by that? Unit circle. I3. Okay. I over 3. The vector values on the outside of those points at a radius equal 1. Mathram!
Oh, that's cool. Cool? Yeah, cool.
Thank you for the raid. Let me do a shout out.
It's cool. It's not cool.
You can multiply them by a float to expand the... Yeah. How was your stream today? It's going good. Bathroom's working on a... I don't know the genre. What is the genre? Because it's not a city builder. And it's something I'm just not familiar with. It always kind of reminds me of like a city builder mixed with like Populous. But in Godot, historic city builder. There you go. With the kitty cat. I'm gonna just look at what you were doing on the stream, just to sidetrack myself. C++. What are we doing? What's going on here? What are we doing here? What's going on? Refreshing my C++. Oh, okay. Paperboy Prince. We were looking up Paperboy Prince. Okay. What an embarrassing moment to scrub through chat or through the stream. So that's Donkey Kong. He's got Donkey Kong on his Game Boy SP. Nice. I started to learn a bit of C. Haven't touched C++. Diving into C++ again because it's so common in open source. Yeah. This is one of my arguments for people are like, don't make engines, you know, why would you make an engine? Just use an engine. But I never discourage that because it's like we need people who are making these engines. If you want your open source engine to be better, then you kind of actually want to encourage people to do that. Okay, so is this... Here's another problem. Shit. Here's another problem, guys. Let's look at the Hexagon website. because we're actually going to be a circle that's larger than our see that? We have a problem. Okay, let's go to the hexagon. There's a whole Red Blob Games hexagon resource. It's really useful. I have to go feed. Yeah, thank you so much, Bathroom. Welcome, streamers. We're working on a puzzle matching game. I can show you here. It may work right now. I don't know. I'm in the middle of writing some code. I may have hosed everything. No, we're okay. But we're working on how we're going to highlight matches and things like that. Right now, it doesn't look like anything. It's actually very broken. Yeah, we're in the middle of breaking everything. So just ignore us. Yeah, we're breaking everything right now. Please ignore us. So I can't really show you anything right now. We're in an unplayable state, which goes against my general philosophy. No, we're fine. But anyways, we're trying to animate the matches, make them more clear to people, and all that kind of stuff. So what we're looking at right now is the math involved for. So he's got the circle in here. Oh shit, see, it's not the same. Is it not the same? Are they the same kinds of triangles? Actually, they do look like they're equilateral. Like if you were to draw a triangle between these 2 points, it's equilateral. They're all 60-degree points. That makes sense because it's a 60-degree angle around each of the... Okay, yeah. In a regular hexagon, the interior angles are 120 degrees. There are 6 wedges, each an equilateral triangle with 60-degree angles inside. Each corner is size units away from the center. So... That's right. And so we need to determine whether or not we have a flat top or a pointy top, right? Which were flat tops. I haven't even experimented with changing that for the game. Pointy hex corner. So center, size, and then I is the corner. Okay. So they're doing 60 times I, what corner we're at, minus 30 degrees. $30. Why is this in degrees? Pi divided by 180 times the angle degree. We're returning this is a vector 2 center x time size So yeah, I only need to do this once, something like this, get the numbers, and then put that into the array that I'm trying to build. Because that's all I care about. I just care about the numbers as they would be calculated. Because we only need to do this once. Still have to get the math right, though. Ah! So size would be 1. So we wouldn't even need to pass size. So we just need... Damn. Double dash flashbacks, everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. So how does it determining, though... Like, what is what side? So they're starting with 0 degrees on the right for the angles. Is that how it works with the circle? 0 degrees is on the right. So that's why we have the 30 offset. I see. I see. Okay. So we subtract 30 to get... Okay. Pi. So in our case, because we're pointy side... We're flat side top. Because we're flat side top, if we start at 0, I don't think we need the negative 30. I think we actually drop that. Because we're rotated by 30 degrees, so we don't need the minus 30. And that would be the same thing to get it for flat side top, right? So, okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Math is its own programming. It's like... All this to do this once. Which, he actually might have the math somewhere. For this. It doesn't look like it. In a lot of ways. Yeah. Yeah, my linear... I mean, my math in general, like... But I definitely need to... I need to just start doing... some courses on... whatchamacallit? Khan Academy. We need to get some... I need to get some Khan Academy going up on here. So we're well beyond the original hexagon math. This is all to calculate. We've got a CS degree. Ah. I do not. I do not. So in a flat top orientation, the horizontal distance between adjacent hexagon centers equals 3/4 times the width. No, wait. Is horizon equals 3/4 times width equals 3... What is this even? This isn't a fraction. I've never seen a larger number on the fraction side on the dividend. Larger than 1. Okay. Okay. Height equals the square root. M says vertical distance. Jesus, son of a biscuit. I mean, with this, we could probably figure it out. Because we have... Let me just... Here's what we'll do. we need to go between 0 and 5, right? So let's just try and print out some things here. Point is an integer in 5. So now, or do we need to be 6? Do we start it at 0 when we do this? I don't know. Okay. Then we're going to take this pseudocode here and we're going to center size I. So this is I. Okay. And then we have center and size. Size is 1. 1. And center is 0, 0. So 0. 0. Okay. Var. Let's bring this in. We don't need to return anything. We'll just print. And do we... Angle to degree has no static type. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, we have a bunch of numbers. They're different. Kind of. Maybe not.
Please sit down and have fun. Just sit down and have fun, damn it.
Smith Carter. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so here's what we end up with. This looks right to me. Of course, we get that pesky -0 thing with floats. Lovely. These look like good numbers to me. So for funsies, let's just draw a line between these points. I think we're getting somewhere here, boys. All right. I mean, what I could do is, Frank, I could just go like this. Now I'm using a vec3 because our other coordinates okay, here's the other problem though. So we start out this we don't need the -30. Right? We determine that. We get rid of the Trivial Pursuit redeem. First person to answer the question correctly gets their name added to the board with the point next to it. 1990s tech question anyone can answer. The year is 1997. The question: what word processor what word processor besieged users with helpful hints from Clippy, the talking paperclip? Microsoft Word is the correct answer. Moleskio, for a bonus point, answer this question correctly from the strategy. Where are we? Simulation is in strategies section of 2008's Test your video game IQ. Are you a game genius? Here's your question. What dice total do players who want to avoid rolling... Let's try this again. What dice total do players want to avoid rolling in Settlers of Catan board games simulations for Xbox Arcade? Is it A, 7, B, 2, C, 12, or D, 3? Seven. Is that what activates the rubber? No context to the answer. But wouldn't... But you activate the rubber, right? Wouldn't you want to roll a 7? Shouldn't the question be formulated that you don't want other players to roll that? $79 is A7. I haven't played in 10 years. That was an educated guess. I remember the game, but not specifics. That's 2 points for Moleskio. I think that puts you on the board. I don't think you have any. Let's see. I currently programmed it, so trust me. Gotcha. You had one? Okay, let me find you on the board. Yeah, you're way at the bottom. All right, so this puts you at 3. I don't have a link to your... I malformed your... Oh, no, you're fine. 3, so now we need to move you up. You're tied behind Little Doctor Games. I was always a pacifist robber when I could be, because I was always playing with family. One of my biggest regrets, this is going to be one of those lifetime things that I'll think about as a regret. But my mom loved to play a game called... It was a card game. It was a Japanese card game. It was a city builder, resource collecting game. I can't think of the name of it, but she never won it once. And right before she ended up in the hospital the final time, she was well on her way to winning, and I decimated her, and I should have given her the win. And I feel like if I could do anything, it'd be to let her win that game. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, she did. She did. I just wish I could have given her that win. So here we have a whole number. Does that seem right? If 1 is the whole distance, if we start here and this is 1, yes, that is correct. Okay, I think our math is good. So I think we can plug this in by hand. And what we should do is fix, because we don't understand math. And we started 0 looking this way. 0 degrees is really right here. For the purposes of what we're doing here, because we're going to be traveling clockwise. So we have to adjust that. This is the hard-coded math we're going to plug in here. And it's still not quite right because we do have to adjust it for the what's up here, the this bonkers, whatever the fuck this is about. So we have to do that. But width equals 2 times size. All right. Let's keep moving. We'll get there. This should build us a nice little pretty pretty little friend here. So this will be, we need to put a 0 in the middle there. And then this one repeats here. The reason, especially the reason I should have given that win is because for me it meant nothing. Unintentional asshole. So this is the hard-coded stuff that I was talking about, right? So this last number here will be our first one up here. So these are the points where we're going to draw the lines, right? Now we just need to adjust the we need to adjust the order here so that right here, this right here, our actual look order. So we want 1 plus 1 to be 0. So this right here is 0. So let's go ahead and redeclare this. And we're just gonna rip this like this. All right, so our constants are updated. They match this. So now in theory we could just draw a line. Another raid.
Cool. Yeah, cool. You think it's
Trevron, thanks for the raid.
Cool.
Shout out.
It's not cool.
Appreciate it. Let me let's check out. What were you working on today? When we get rated, we do a Trivial Pursuit. Anybody can answer 1990s tech question. First person to answer a question gets their name added to the board with a point next to it. Just doing some music. Nice. The year is 1996. The question: what company was embarrassed when its Taiwanese programmers inserted anti-communist slogans into software intended for China? BlackBerry. No, incorrect. At the I wouldn't say they were software company to help narrow it down. Microsoft is the correct answer. All right, let me check out. It looks like you might still be live. Yeah. Why does it say you're live now, but I don't see the video? Most recent. Dude, playing some N64? Nice. Nice. 3 hours ago. There it is. All right. For a bonus point. Oh, you're doing music. Okay, let me pause. What are you using for music? Ableton?
It's also 3D Dungeon. Doing some cleaning? Heck yeah, dude. I need.
Nice. Are you using
I don't know how long I was.
Are you using what engine are you making the game in? Godot. Okay, so you're in Godot. Nice. All right, bonus question for you, Devro. Answer this question correctly. An additional point will be given to you. Simulation and strategy section of 2008's Test Your Video Game IQ. Are you a game genius? Here it is. The question. Are we still in Catan land? No, we aren't. Simulation and strategy. In the United Kingdom and Ireland, The Sims Living It Up for the PC is the same expansion as the one in North America called, is it A, The Sims Vacation, B, The Sims Living Large, C, The Sims House Party, or D, The Sims Making Magic? This is a deep cut. B. 180. Let's see. That is correct. The Sims Living Large. I wonder why they did the name change. It's like, oh, it's because of the troubles in Ireland. Living Large has this deep, horrific meaning. You're like, oh crap, okay. All right, well, that's good to know, I suppose. So let me update your points here, Devereaux, real quick. So with the music that you're making for the game, Trevron, are you just doing full, like just straight up tracks? Are you doing interactive music? Because I'm eventually going to be doing something hopefully interactive for my game, but I'm looking into the new tools from Godot, and I am dubious on whether or not I should engage in using them. Devereaux's now at 15 points, tied with Mudbound Dragon, moving up the charts. Overall, Devereaux is ranked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th place. Almost getting there to third. Get on the board permanently. We'll lock it in once Devereaux reaches third. I'll just close it. I'll shut it down.
Today, because I do have some chores to do before the
That's pretty good stuff, man. Hyperslice. I thought the game looked familiar. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Elliptic. He's a nice guy. He's always giving me raids. I really appreciate it. With full boxes games. Okay. Good stuff. I'm going to give you a follow. I didn't... I'm not signed in on this one. Give me a second. I got to go over to Firefox. Yeah, eventually I'm kind of going for a Tetris Effect style for my game. So I need to eventually do music that's like interactive in two ways. One is that as the level progresses, we tell the music to change, and the music needs to be keyed in some way, not musically keyed, but just like animationally speaking for music, however the hell that would work, where it's like, oh, these little melody is playing. We're going to have the board sort of come alive to that moment, and like twinkle certain pieces to that rhythm or something like that. So that's what I'm imagining, but we're not quite there yet. We're still doing other stuff. Yeah, there's some good tools in Godot 4 to make that happen fairly easy. Yeah, I've tried looking into them, but man, they look a little confusing. It's definitely in its infant stage. Okay, so now that we have so what do we call this thing? Highlight points. And so now we don't need the match statement. And we just take highlight points and we look it up via match direction. And then what we'll get from that is our from direction, sorry. This gets us the array of the vec3s. And then what we do is we draw those points. So for now, I almost think we should represent this in a 2D environment. I could just create a temporary 2D space to draw it in. Because there is no line 2D equivalent. But I'll be lurking. All right, Trevoron, thank you so much again. Hopefully I give you, I give you a follow, right? I think I forgot to do that. I'm the worst. The worst. Let's go here. I'll see you around. Oh yeah, you're all set. One of my good friends was named Trevor. Or Trevor. Let's see. He's not dead. What am I saying? Was. Was. R.I.P. Long live Trevor's. Hell yeah. Calamity. What's. Yeah. It's just. Watch my. Now I get a phone call. Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna comment this out for now. And then what we do is we have, where are we doing this here? Here we are. So this is the array, right? Points to highlight. We don't even need to do that. So now we do another for loop. And point is a vector 3 in highlight points. Okay. So, all right. So then for each point, we need to draw a line. Now, I don't think there's a line 3D, right? Is there? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go ahead and try and see if we can see line something. Line 2D. There ain't no line 3D. So, do we have something else that we can use to draw? There's something to draw points with in, well, you can do path 3D, but that's not, and it's funny because it actually has a, it's funny, the engine has this in it somewhere, the ability to do this, because when you do a path 3D in the editor, you're going to see what I want to have access to, but I don't. So that's funny that it's just sitting there ready to go. Joints. So the difficulty here is Arya. How's it going? How was the Godot last night? How'd that go? I fell asleep as soon as I rated you. I was having a time of my life yesterday. Let me just show you guys me having me. If you want to see joy in my face. Where is it? Not right now. We're gonna go back to our VODs. This is mistitled. How embarrassing. But yesterday, look at this. We were playing Mario Kart. Look at, I'm happy. We were doing Mario Kart. So we finished up Mario Kart. We ran credits on Mario Kart SNES. So if you want to watch the credits roll, here it is. And then we were playing some Mario Kart 64. Just going through the motions. It was a blast. It was a gay old time. Oh, I just finished the Mario movie. Finished it 5 minutes ago. Weirdly the timing. The number of areas where I forgot to reference variables or forgot to emit signals. This game should have been done. Probably 2 more streams of it and onto a new project. Nice. Yeah, I love that Pipes game in on the NES. I just didn't. It'd be so much better with a mouse because the input of the D-pad and everything awful. I presume you're using mouse input. You're like, damn, why didn't I think of that? So here's what we're going to do. Since we know the points that we're going to highlight, I'm just going to say highlight points. I think my son's home. I think the family's home, guys. I might be gone here soon. Yeah, on console the BioShock was fine because you're just rotating extension pipes. But it'd be such a pain to drag and place a pipe using controllers. Yeah. Yeah, the Pipes game in the NES, it just was like, here's the next one. Here you go. Okay. Trying to assign type of string to variable type int. No, I'm not trying to assign the type of string. I promise you. I promise you that's not what I'm trying to do. Look around directions is literally an enum. Is it values then? Do I have the wrong thing? Yeah, it must be. Here we go. So then we have a bunch of highlight points. Okay? So then this should be relative. So what we do is for each point in this little subloop, we take the point and we add it to the QRS position. And this is the vector coordinate that we then want to draw from one point to the next one. Our deal. Now highlight points gives us an array back. So we don't even need the for loop. Look at this. We're just avoiding loops. This is good. Because we have the two indices. So 0 and 1. And we just do the math. Let me go like this. We add QRS to it. Now we have... Look at this. One for loop. One for loop so far. My God. To do to do what we're doing, this is crazy, man. Because what we're doing is we have this array of coordinates for the hexagons, and what we're doing is we've got it all, our data structures and everything set up to basically figure out what points to draw around the hexagon to do the highlight. This is crazy. One for loop. Thank you guys. Thank you. And I'm talking a big game right here because we still have to actually get the damn points on the board. So we have this outline mesh. Okay. And the hard part here is going to be the fact that we kind of actually need to either rotate to get the other side to the point. So maybe what we need in this array is just the 1 point and then the angle, which the angle is always what? 60 degrees, right? Is it's because it's a equilateral triangle, so it's always going to be 60 degrees from something. 0 degrees here, 30 degrees, 0, 60, 120. Look at this. So all we need is the 1 point. Oh my God. Okay, hang on, guys. We're still not done here. We don't even need this damn array. It can just be the 1 point. Because we'll be able to look up the rotation that we apply to the mesh that we're going to put on the board to represent this highlighting line thing. And theoretically, this mesh is going to have a like an animated texture on it or some sort of shader that does like this coursing, pulsating thing that's going to go along all of them. And so this is an array of vector 3s now. And we only need the first value. So we just need this. And we add QRS to get our offset. And then we just look at our direction as what we use for the rotation of the outline mesh. And so direction now, are we using the enums here for anything yet? Just for look around. Look around you. Look around you. So these are the pieces we're looking around for. Okay. So I do believe we need one more array for look around rotation. This is look around cells. And this is look around rotation. And we don't need these constants either. So we can get rid of that. So we need these SOBs. Wait a minute. Yeah. We're okay. It's like, what? Why is there a bunch of errors here? So then this is rotation. So this is real simple. This is just 0 degrees, And we should probably do this with actual 60, like the pi values for this. 120, 180, 240, and 300. And this is an array of ints for now. So look around cells is our old one. Okay. Highlight points. Look around rotation. So then we say, this is the position of the mesh. And then the rotation so we need to get the mesh pool. We have our pool of meshes here. It's in main. Outline pool. And we're going to go for count equals, so var count int equals 0. And then every time we do this, we say count plus equals 1. And then we go for our main outline pool count. Okay. And this is the mesh, which is made up of mesh instance 3D, right? So that's a mesh instance 3D that we're grabbing. And we're going to manipulate. So we say position equals that. And then we say rotation equals, and we grab look around rotation direction. Now, we're assigning look around rotation direction, around directions. Type of int cannot be assigned as such a vector 3. Ah. Hey, gotta go to tutoring Blender. Good luck with the project. Thank you so much, Arya. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go run and see what the family's up to here real quick. Be right back. why you're in there. What are you doing? All right. Back to work. So, rotation. It's a vector 3. We're going with straight up degree to rad. Thank you. So this is the one thing we're doing with math right now that, again, we can bake. We can bake. Do they have some predefined rotations in Godot for vec3s? Some constants. Negative Ghost Rider. Okay, let's think about this. We're rotating the Y, right? So this is, we need the radius so we don't have to do this math. Mud, what's up? And then we're going to make this visible. Okay, so how do we stop everything so we can actually see this happen? I guess it will just happen. We might have to hide the board. Cross your fingers, everybody. I saw him! I saw him! Ah, they're back there. Hang on. Let's hide. Let's hide the board. Okay. Something's not right. All right, hang on. I think it's because we cheat. Okay. Let's think about this. I only see 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3 there. Hey, hang on. Ah, there's a bunch in the 0. I bet we have a 0 index issue. Seems to be the same shape every time. Let's say, you do a shout out to Mud. Mud's working on a Pico 8 game. Metal Apex. Drone combat strategy game. Tactical strategy. Heavy focus on AI. Lots of fan service. Much nudity. It's just graphic. I don't know how he's fitting it in the cartridge, but he's figuring it out. I don't have a title yet. No. I don't have a title. Like, thanks, asshole. Like, that was 1. That was 1. highlight points. This looks like a good number of highlight points. Okay. I think we're good there. Let's look at our... So we've got the visualizer here. Let's hide pieces. See, it's the same thing again. Interesting. So outlines. So we're only I know what it is. This count number needs to go on the outside. Of the entire for loop.
There you go.
That we're inside of. Okay? So that's part of our problem. Thank you so much. My wife just brought me her bagels with some cream cheese on it. I feel bad using an image of Bob Ross in such a bitchy way, but it works so well. I think he would find it funny. Supposedly he had some sort of sour relationship between his son and him. And something tells me that's just straight up. That's like... I just don't know if I buy it. I don't know. Everyone has a tenuous relationship with their parents, I feel like, at times. And it's like somebody could interview somebody well known and it's be like, oh, you had an argument with your son. Yeah, it's a very troubled childhood and Ross was demanding and blah, 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 blah. We just need one good match. We don't want a chain. Well, and if you've got a famous parent, that sometimes has got to suck. There we go. Okay. So this looks more like something. Let's hide the pieces and see if we look more like another raid. Code Wonderland, thank you so much.
Cool.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
okay, so we're kind of looking like something.
Cool.
Is that cool?
We're looking like something. Code, thanks for the raid. Let me do a shout out. Code's in here occasionally, hanging out. What were you working on? It's going all right. We're working on a highlighting system. We're just trying to get the moths figured out. Symbol 24, how's it going? So, what'd you get done today? Thank you again for the raid. Oh, I almost forgot. When we get rated, we do a Trivial Pursuit question, 1990s question. Anybody can answer. That one looks really hard. Here it is. (1994) question. What game was Nikolai Titov concentrating on when his head exploded in a Weekly World News joke that found fame as a web hoax? I probably got the last name wrong. Tetris is incorrect. I guess because it found fame as a web hoax, we'd call it a meme now. What game was Nikolai Titov concentrating on when his head exploded in a Weekly World News joke that found fame as a web hoax? Snake? No, it wasn't Snake. So the only thing that's tech about this question is that it quote found fame as a web hoax. Which I mean, I guess it's a game you play. It's a very old game, not a video game. It is probably one of the chess is the answer. Bot for 524. Thank you so much. Finished up everything but controller support and help menus for our meta upgrade system. Nice. All right, but for an additional bonus point, answer this question true, and it shall be granted to you. From the 2008 Test Your Video Game IQ, Are You a Games Genius? Here's the question. Here we go. From the simulation and strategy section. That is an absolutely no way a tech question. Lol, I agree. In the United Kingdom and Ireland, The Sims on Holiday for the PC is the same expansion pack as this one in North America. Is it A, The Sims House Party, B, The Sims Unleashed, C, The Sims Hot Date, or D, The Sims Vacation? I'm sorry ahead of time, bot. This is such a specific question. Once again, in the United Kingdom and Ireland, The Sims on Holiday for the PC, D, Vacation. Oh, I get it. It's like, okay. The first, we had one of these earlier, and we were like, what was the problem with the name? Like, what's the cultural difference? Or 81 D is the correct answer. That's 2 points for bot 524. I'll go ahead and add those on the board. That's on the about page of the channel. I want to check out your stream here, Code. We're trying to get this algorithm done. This is a good sign, though. Things are on here. They're here. I think probably some of our addition is wrong. All right, bot. Let me check the board, see if you're there already. I can't remember if you've answered one before. Bot. No. Okay. So that puts you on the board with 2 points. You're now tied right behind Too Much Tomato at 2 points. Guys, we got a little inflatable pool, and I instantly ripped it. Not instantly, but I tore a hole in it on accident, cleaning up the yard, and I feel like an idiot. I feel like a cat. You know, I set up a tent one time before we went camping, just to like know how to do it, so I didn't look like a fool in front of my wife. And I had finished setting it up, and we had this tuxedo cat, fluffy fur. Her name is Maybelline, and I saw her do the thing, and I was like, no! And she jumps up into the air, claws out, and is like, ha! onto the tent, and just rips a bunch of holes into the siding of the tent. I was so mad. Good job for me knowing a holiday is a vacation. All right, you're on the board with those points, but all right, Code. Let's check it out. Do you do VODs? I forget. So I'm not logged in. I am following you. I promise I'm following you. I'm not logged in on this browser. All right. Watch, this is where I find out I'm not. Be like, what? Oh, you're working. Okay. Oh my gosh. Are you using Invim? So you're working on a whole upgrade thing. Nice. Yeah, I want to get back to it. I guess since I'm in GD script, there's actually no reason not to at this point. Pieces. We're gonna bump this outlines. We're gonna bump this up a little bit more. I'm now confused here. Why are we not seeing all of them? Oh, those are the shadows? Wait a minute. Why are the shadows here? Why are the shadows totally different than you guys seeing that? What is that about? Yeah, what is going on with our depth here? I think maybe we're applying some numbers incorrectly. Let's look at the transforms of the I don't need to see all of this. I just want the transform. Does the filter happen to everything? Position. Yes, okay, it does. Look at that. Why do we have any depth in our position? Okay, this is a clue. We found a clue. Oh. Oh yeah, it does look okay this time. All right, let me try this again. This is so hard to confirm initially. We're going to do one match. No more. This should be a total of how many sides? We should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, let's try again. Because I don't... Oh, and we are the tips are pointing up, not the other way around. Tips are pointing up. Excellent. Excellent. Sorry, let me do this again. We'll start over here on the right side. Sorry. You guys don't know you don't even know what I'm counting right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there should be 20. Please don't match again. Okay, so just that. Okay, so 20. We should see 20 here. Codex here with the sub for Prime. I'm streaking 4 months. Thanks, Codex. Appreciate that. All right, going back over here to Visualizer. Board sub v4. So we said 20. So we should see 20 highlighted pieces here, or outlines. Our data structure will be right if we. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so something's not right. All right. Something's not right. So we know that this should have been minus 30. Because we are doing we're doing pointy side up. Pointy side up. All right, I gotta mute. I gotta eat. I'm getting lightheaded. I'm gonna hide my face. I got .NET and Godot installed in a Docker container pretty quickly, but now I'm fighting getting GPU drivers working in it. Damn, getting C# going for Godot is a beating. Are you on Linux? Yeah. Hello, Brazil. How you doing, Eduardo? I'm doing well. I am hexagoning it up. I think we've got the correct steps in the algorithm. I think that we're just a little off on some of the math. Okay, I already see part of the problem. We're going to change the mesh right now just to test some things. We're going to change the mesh. We just want it to be a dot. Just to see if we're getting hexagonish outlines. Are we looking like a hexagon with these little dots? Let's see. That's a big negative. Okay. Further investigation is warranted. Eduardo found the secret gunship. I'm going to refund you those. I got to get rid of that from my my redeems. We do a shout out to Codex since I believe Codex is going to start streaming again soon. Codex slowly falling in love with Godot. All right, almost done eating. I'm just gulping down this Yoplait. Yoplait! All right, all done. Okay, so let's set a break here. So, as I count it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. We should only have 22. Okay. All right, so we know part of why we're getting a larger number. Okay. We want to have, okay. So we need to retain some piece of data. We have to go through this loop initially once, checking as it grows if the... Okay. So, because we have our matches, we have our surrounding area that we're going to draw the outline on, and as we're creating that surrounding area, we need to double check to see, have we already added this one in? Because otherwise we can potentially do this twice. For instance, if we look around, come on, Windows. Sometimes this happens with me in Windows. If we're checking for a neighbor here on this piece, and then we check for a neighbor here on this piece, well, yeah, of course, it's going to be there twice. So we only need it. Okay, I think I'm getting what I'm missing about this. All right. We're close. We're getting there. Alrighty. I've got to end the stream today, guys. I appreciate all the raids. I appreciate all the support, the subs. Codex. Meliskio, thank you for that. Trevron, thanks for the raid. Mathram, thanks for the raid. And Code Wonderland, thank you so much for the raid. But I'll be out of here. Might get a Mario Kart in tonight. We'll see. But I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh wait, I need to find someone to raid. What am I doing? Oh, Cricket's eager to get out of here. Let's see, follow. There's like 17 of us. Who are we gonna raid? Pedalix is working on something. Conrad's going. We got people playing Balatro. Was playing a matching game. We'll do Conrad.
Of like 20 degrees, I'm gonna be whining about it.
Conrad, great. Devereaux, thanks for hanging out, man. Everybody, it's nice to see you all. I kind of want to take a dad nap. Anyone want to take a dad nap with me? All right, see you guys. Bye.